Well, happy New Year, everyone, and welcome back to the ranch. More specifically, I guess I should say welcome back to the shop. We are not out on the ranch today. It's too dang cold to be out on the ranch today. This year's starting off to be another crazy year as far as weather's concerned. New Year's Day, it was 82 degrees, sun was shining, birds were singing, and 12 hours later that 82 plummeted to 22. So we South Texans don't care much for that. We're just hoping we don't have another sequel to what we experienced last year, 2021, around Valentine's Day weekend. If you remember, we had the worst freeze we'd ever had as long as we've been out here on the ranch, which is 33 years this year. The temperature got down to 5 degrees. It stayed below freezing for over a week. A lot of Texans had no power and no water for that entire week. It was pretty darn rough in this state. And it was pretty rough on our little axis deer herd too. It totally decimated it. We don't have any axis deer here anymore. And also, believe it or not, my arch nemesis, the feral hogs, I actually felt sorry for those rascals as they came up to the house in search of ground that was not frozen. They were starving too. So it was pretty darn rough. And if that wasn't enough, just a couple of months later, we had the worst hail storm we'd ever seen. Also in 33 years out here on the ranch. It totally destroyed a lot of rental property that we have, as well as completely knocked the skylights out of this building right here. I had 3 panels that had skylights in them, which are just, instead of having the steel roofing panels, they're made out of a real heavy-duty plastic, and they're clear, so they let a lot of light in. And those things just got totally destroyed. So as I was up on top of the roof replacing those plastic panels with steel panels this time, I got to thinking and I thought, you know, it's time to make this shop a little bit more enjoyable. This shop, we've really used it a lot over the years, but it was basically just a metal building on a concrete slab. And in the summer, in July through August and even into September, a lot of times it was so hot you couldn't stand to be out here. I have seen temperature in here at 130 degrees. And likewise, or inversely, during the winter, December, January, and February, you just did not want to be out here. You could have space heaters in here and it was still brutally cold. Too cold to come out here and do any work that was not absolutely necessary. So as I was up on the roof, I started thinking of ways to make this place better. I built this shop about 23 years ago, and I built it so that we could work on the farm equipment out here. I built it so that I could teach the boys how to weld, teach them how to work on cars, how to maintain their cars, how to work on farm stuff, how to do woodworking stuff. And we really enjoyed a lot of good father-son bonding time out here, if you will. It was a good move for more than one reason. But the kids were always out here doing fun things, from working on Matt's old 68 SS Camaro that he drove to school, to working on Mark's 1970 SS Chevelle, to working on Drewski's Z car. Having fun, Drewski?
Uh-huh.
Stand back so your brothers can see your tires, wheels. Oh, baby.
Get the view from the back of the front too, or they stick out a little.
And even though Luther spent some good quality time in this shop. And it didn't just end after the boys all left and went to college. When they'd come home from college, they would always be out here in the shop working on their cars and stuff. Here's a picture of Mark working on Matt's Corvette. I have no clue what he was doing, more than just showing off his muscles, but they were always out here. This shop was really a needed entity, but it also turned out to be a blessing in the end. So in my attempt to make this shop more tolerable and possibly even enjoyable, first thing I did is I got all the junk out of it, and there was 33 years of stuff in here, so it was no small feat. But I got this place empty, and I got one of my friends that owns an insulation company to come out and spray the walls with a closed cell foam. You can see that back wall, and the ceilings are very white. And that's because they have 2 inches of closed cell foam. It goes all the way around this entire shop. This shop's about 900 square feet, but the ceiling's completely done. All the walls are completely done. Those garage doors are not, but I do have insulated panels that go on them. So once I got the ceiling and the walls all insulated with that closed cell foam, it did a lot to mitigate the extreme temperatures of the summer, and also what we're seeing right now, also of the winter too. And not only did the insulation turn out looking and working perfectly, fortunately, we only had 1 casualty. And as Uncle Floyd would say, bless his little pointy head. But to take it up to the next level, which I was wanting to do, I started looking for mini split heater air conditioner units. So in search of mini splits, I called my old buddy Justin, who is not only an excellent mechanic, but he is also an excellent human. And he also runs an excellent YouTube channel called The Good of the Land. Many of you guys know Justin already. He is a wonderful friend I love dearly. And I knew he had just built a big, nice shop for himself, and he had put mini splits in it. So I called him, and he told me that he had used Mr. Cool mini splits. He said there's 3 or 4 different manufacturers that make all the mini splits for the multiples of brand names of mini splits that are out there. And he said the one that makes Mr. Cool is by far superior to all the rest. And also Eric Cortina of Texas Barn Dominiums put a Mr. Cool unit in Demolition Ranch headquarters for Matt. And Eric knows what he's doing, and that thing works really, really well in there. Matt's totally satisfied with it. I've been in there and seen it too. And anyway, after Eric and Matt gave it their full approval, I thought you'd probably also enjoy this. Here's Justin.
I like my air conditioners like I like my women. Durable, attractive, and easy. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Shop Build. Today is a huge day for me, a day that I've been dreaming about for like 30 years. So I'm going to guide you through the steps today that it takes to install your own air conditioner and show you and prove to you that 1, it's not that expensive, and 2, it's easy. So stop working in the heat.
So I dialed up Jason at Mr. Cool, and we had a real nice conversation. And at the end of the conversation, he said, Lee, if you will take one of these Mr. Cool units and show it to all your viewers, show them how you put it all together, assemble it, how you install it, show them the ease of installation, and then give them your honest opinion, you can have it for free. And folks, I get emails every day, 2 or 3 emails with offers for me to bring some product to you, a better mousetrap. They want me to show you that. They offer me cash. They offer me the product. They offer me commission on all the stuff that you would buy from them if I push it. Use the little code down in the description. But I've never caved for that because I don't know the product. I don't know anything about it. I don't know the people. And for me to get on here and blindly invite you to try this product out that I like is that's not the way things should be taken care of. You folks trust me, and I love you guys, and I just wouldn't do that to you. But this Mr. Cool unit, it's a different story. I totally trust the owner of the company. I've seen this thing in Matt's facility. I've seen it working good. I know Eric Cortina uses them all the time, and he's the best there is. And also from my dear friend Justin. He's had his for quite a while and just totally loves it, and had a great experience with Jason at Mr. Cool too. So I have absolutely no qualms about bringing this product to you and showing it to you. And like I said, it's free to me. I want you to understand that. I am, in a way kind of being paid. I'm getting a free air conditioner for this. But I'm only doing it because I trust all of these situations. So shortly after I talked with Jason at Mr. Cool, the brown truck started arriving with packages every day. And before I knew it, it was time to start putting all the stuff together. And my biggest problem in here is there was no studded wall on which to hang the inside unit. So I had to build a 4x8 studded panel, and then I sheeted it with 7/16 inch plywood. I attached it horizontally up to the purlin, And then I also attached it to the floor with concrete anchors, so it's pretty darn solid. And then I leveled and attached, you can see right here, a metal backing plate. I attached that with screws to the panel, and then I made measurements and lined it up so I could drill a pass-through hole. And oh, by the way, the hole saw was included in the kit. You can't beat that. So I cut this circular hole in the panel, and I also cut another one on the outside. That particular hole that I cut in this panel that I framed out is so that we can take the refrigerant lines and all the electrical wires, take them up through the hole, out the other hole on the other side of the wall, and drop them down to the outside unit. The only problem is that they can get damaged in the wall. So Mr. Cool has supplied this handy little sleeve that goes through and this little flange that goes on the outside. And they fit together somewhat like that. And that's all good and well, except for the fact that when I added this extra 4 inches that I had to put in here so I could mount the unit, when you go in this way from the inside and you come this way on the outside, there's a gap about like that. So as we all know, necessity is indeed the mother of invention. And though it doesn't look all that good, I did make a coupler, or an extender, if you will. And that should work just fine right there. I will put some caulk in there, some adhesive in here to hold this thing together. But I just wanted to show you my little invention and let you be proud of me. Thank you very much. And now that we have the mounting plate secured to the panel and we have our hole drilled, all we have to do is hang the inside unit. And this is one of those things where it is recommended to have 2 people, but you know, some people just don't follow instructions very well. Watch this moron as he tries to put this thing up all by himself. Surely he's not going to try it again. Oh my goodness, here he comes again. Yeah, if he could just get that black wire to comply, but it's not going to. So, all right, time to abort again. Fortunately, you know, this would be one of those jobs where if you had 3 hands or a prehensile tail like those monkeys, it'd be a breeze, but to the average human, not so much. Fortunately, Operator Drewski stopped by while I was in the middle of this and helped me with it. It was a piece of cake with 2 people. If I can do it, you can do it. So with the inside unit all done, we move to the outside. First thing you need on the outside is a concrete slab, and fortunately, there was one at an old home site here on the ranch, so I dug it up with the tractor, brought it up here, set it down and leveled it, and then I put the unit on top of it. I centered it, and once it was centered, I marked where the feet were on it, where the holes in the feet were, marked those with a Sharpie marker, and then moved the unit back, drilled those holes out, put anchors in those holes, put the unit back over the anchors and the pads, and then all it took then was a washer and a nut on all 4 corners to fasten the thing down tightly. Again, a piece of cake. So with all that done, now it was time to connect all the electrical wiring. There's my power supply right there, and I just put this breaker in. This is a 20 amp breaker, and this is the lines from it. You can see I've got it going down here and then coming up, and it'll go into the unit by way of this little cover right here, right there. So pretty easy. Okay, I'm wiring up the Mr. Cool right now, and I just wanted to show you this. When you pull this little protective sleeve back, you see the number 1 on here. It corresponds to that number 1 right there. So this one will go here. There's our ground. It will go right over there. This one's got 2s marked on it, so it'll go there. This one, kind of hard to see because it's a black, this one's kind of hard to see because it's a black wire, but there's 2 number 3s right there. So it will go right there. So even a dummy like me, hopefully, can figure this out. All right. So there's number 1 on 1, number 2 on 2, number 3 on 3. This is one leg of the 220 coming in. There's the second leg for the 220. This is the ground for the 220, and there is the ground for the Mr. Cool unit inside. All with correlating wires on the other side of the block. So we should be good. And here I've tightly connected the inner and outer copper refrigerant lines with the included wrenches, and I'm insulating the copper lines with a black rubber adhesive, and then I'll cover them all up with foam insulation and tape. And here in this picture, all the refrigerant lines, the drain, and everything else are completely wrapped with UV protective tape. And Mr. Cool also has these sharp looking covers where it looks very, very professional. You can't see any of the wires, you can't see any of the pipes or tubes, and it just looks very, very neat and very, very tidy. Does not look like something I did, that's for sure. And yes, folks, that is as loud as it gets. It never gets any louder than that. And honestly, in here right now, I can't even hear the outside unit running. Incredibly quiet. Granted, I do have the walls all insulated, the walls and the ceiling insulated now, so it's much quieter than your average metal building. Mr. Cool does provide a wall-mounted unit and a handheld remote unit. That wall-mounted unit, you don't want it right where I have it, right here under the unit. So I will probably put it over there around that back wall somewhere, so it'll give me an average temperature of what's going on in here in the shop. But yes, I am a happy boy. This will allow me to spend probably an extra 4 months out of every year in the shop. It used to get so dang hot in here in the summer and so freezing cold in the winter, it just was not even worth being out here. But anyway, as you can see from what I showed you earlier in this video, it did not take me long to fill the shop up again. I don't know about you, but anybody else I know that ever built a shop, once they got it built, realized they should have built it twice as big. But anyway, like I said, I'll get an extra 4 months of work out of my shop at least, just having Mr. Cool in here, because that thing cools and it also heats. It's a heat pump, actually. So I am a happy, happy boy. Well, folks, that's about it from out here on the ranch today. I know this was a little bit of a different kind of video, but I'm really, really happy with this, and I hope you're happy for me. So thank you so much for being here. I'd like to thank Mr. Cool for giving me this unit free of charge, and I hope you enjoyed watching how I put it all together, and I hope you can appreciate how well it works. I will put a link to Mr. Cool down in the description, and I'll also put a link to The Good of the Land so you can enjoy old Justin. I think most of y'all probably already subscribed to him anyway, because you already know he's one of my buddies. But anyway, guys, that's it from out here on the ranch. Thank you so much for stopping by today. You know how much it means to me. I hope your 2022 is off to a good start, and I hope you have a wonderfully blessed year. God bless you all. I look forward to seeing you next time, and I want you to always remember I love you. Bye-bye now. So did you have fun?
Yeah.
Have a good ride?
Yeah.
You go fast? You like to go fast?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Say see you next time.
See you next time.
So what you doing there, Al?
Neutering a dog, Dad.
All right. Who's gonna learn you?
That's a mistake.